Hey everybody, it's Matty here with Altcoin Buzz, and I hope you're having a good one. So today we're going to have some bullish energy, and we're talking about all the good things that are happening, specifically with Bakkt, Bitcoin in general, but specifically with Bakkt. This is their website that we're going to come back to, rather. They have just finalized a major acquisition of an over 100-year-old company. It's called Rosenthal Collins Group. They're also gearing up for a big launch. This has been covered by Licia on altcoinbuzz.io. We'll take a look at what that is all about. We'll take a look at some pretty bullish forecasts here, talking about what's in store for Bitcoin if all goes well. We're looking at what's happening if things are in fact mildly bullish. We're looking at whether $5,000 is possible for Bitcoin. And in fact, we're also looking at a $250,000 Bitcoin long term and the conditions that would be required for that. $250,000 Bitcoin, maybe one day. But let's begin here with this tweet by altcoinbuzz.io with a summary of the big updates for Bakkt. So they've just acquired RSG. Once again, that's Rosenthal Collins Group. That's about a 100-year-old institutional grade financial services company. They've also hired a director of compliance and strategic operations manager. They've opened 10 new positions in 8 locations. Expense revenue info was released on the 7th of February for ICE Q4 2018 results, the earnings call that you can check out right here. ICE, of course, being the parent company of the New York Stock Exchange. ICE stands for Intercontinental Exchange. So quite a few good things happening all of the sudden for Bakkt, and there are some chatters, as you can imagine, behind the scenes that things are going pretty well. You could take a look here on seekingalpha.com, Intercontinental Exchange Incorporated, ICE. Their CEO, Jeff Sprecher, on Q4 2018 results, earnings call transcript. So if you're interested in this pretty detailed piece here, a transcript, a very dedicated one of all that information, you can check it out. We will link to it in the description below. If you're not signed up for Bakkt and their newsletter for their information blasts, you can do that on their site here. It's Bakkt, BAKKT.com. You can also explore further about what is Bakkt, what it's all about. They say they're building an open, seamless global network to enable you to buy, sell, store, and spend digital assets simply, safely, and efficiently. I think most importantly, whether or not they deliver on that 100%, okay, whatever. A lot of people are making claims out here in the cryptocurrency space, as we all know. But the most important variable, as far as I see it, is that they are backed by the Intercontinental Exchange. And here they're backed by the proven financial market infrastructure and technology that it offers specifically. So let's dive in now to this piece on ethereumworldnews.com. Bakkt finalizes acquisition of RCG and continues to hire ahead of launch. So Bakkt, of course, is the highly anticipated digital asset stock exchange backed by the New York Stock Exchange and the Intercontinental Exchange. They've just announced that they've acquired the Rosenthal Collins Group in order to increase their staff ahead of their launch. The Rosenthal Collins Group is a futures brokerage business headquartered in Chicago with several institutional grade services like trade execution, risk management, market commentary, and others provided by the company, which was founded in 1923. In addition to the news of the acquisition, Bakkt has also announced the introduction of 2 top executives. Eric Haas is the new director of compliance. He'll move in from the Intercontinental Exchange, ICE, a primary backer of ICE, and will bring with him 9 years of experience dealing with regulators. The platform is also welcoming Rachel Ford from Techstars as the strategic operations manager. And in addition, Bakkt has a further 10 positions which have opened in the fields of engineering, finance, sales. The positions are available for the following locations. So if you're in one of these, heads up: Atlanta, New York, San Francisco, London, Tel Aviv, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Tokyo, all over the world. So Bakkt was set to launch in January of 2019, but due to the government shutdown in the United States, the platform's launch will be delayed. The 35-day government shutdown, which is now on pause, prevented Bakkt from seeking the necessary approval from the Commodities Future Trading Commission, the CFTC, to launch their platform, and is now looking to launch the product in the first quarter of 2019. So that means between January and March. Take a look at this tweet here that made things official. This is from Bakkt. So they say, with today's closing of our transaction with Rosenthal Collins Group, we welcome great new team members to Bakkt. RCG's remarkable heritage, culture, and expertise will help us build out a trusted institutional infrastructure for digital assets. And we have coverage here of these developments over on altcoinbuzz.io here by way of Licia. Bakkt is gearing up for a launch. Jeff Sprecher, he's the CEO of the Intercontinental Exchange, ICE, has good news for the crypto community. He said that Bakkt, the company's digital asset platform, will be launched later this year. Okay, so specifically during the earnings call dedicated to the financial results of ICE for Q4 and the entire year of 2018. So Jeff Sprecher, ICE's CEO, shared that over $1 billion has been spent by the company on strategic initiatives with the launch of its highly anticipated digital asset platform. $1 billion in spending. The parent company of the New York Stock Exchange operates a number of leading global exchanges and is now set to enter the crypto space. Scott Hill, the CFO of the company, further talked about the expenses that will be incurred by Bakkt. Quote, and finally, our investment in Bakkt will generate $20 million to $25 million of expense based upon the run rate in the first quarter. We will update you on progress at Bakkt and the level of investment as we move through the year. According to Sprecher, Bakkt is independent of ICE due to the fact that it has its own office, infrastructure, and management team. ICE is also putting big faith in the platform as they characterize the crypto platform as a, quote, moonshot bet when asked about the expected revenue growth from its recent investments along with Bakkt. Sprecher had this to say, quote, so it's a bit of a moonshot bet and it's been organized in a manner that is very different than the way ICE typically does business. They're well along in building out an infrastructure that I think you'll see launch later this year. That's a direct quote. Pretty good news from the higher ups in the Continental Exchange and those heading up Bakkt. Again, this is not everybody's cup of tea. I am kind of falling into the camp of support for these initiatives. I think you got to kind of go big or go home at this point. We're going to stagnate in the crypto space unless we really hit the next level here. And I think that this is how we do it personally, although feel free to disagree in the comments below. If you have another perspective, let us know what you think about all this. In more bullish news, and as promised, we're here on ccn.com, why Bitcoin's forecast is finally turning bullish. Expected Bitcoin price rise. So largely this is because volatility seems to be way down. Volatility being the measure really of variability between high prices and low prices. We've actually, although the price isn't great right now, we've actually been around this $3,500 mark for a long time. So is it strange then, writes this author, that SFOX report, their cryptocurrency prime dealer for large-scale investors, is it strange that they report places in the crypto market as mildly bullish as we enter February? This is a couple of notches up from its mildly bearish tag last month. And as you can see here, SFOX Multi-Factor Market Index for January 2019, mildly bullish. If you want to read more about that, we're going to link to this article. We have another one here on newsbtc.com. Analyst claims that Bitcoin could surge to $5,000 in coming weeks. Now, none of this is financial advice, and this is only one person's opinion, so there's the caveat. But you have this one analyst is saying that the Bitcoin price may surge as high as $5,000 in the coming weeks. Anything's possible, so that is a possibility. But that's based on the fact that the cryptocurrency, being Bitcoin, is beginning to develop more bullish technical formations. So apparently Mitoshi Kaku is a popular cryptocurrency trader on Twitter. I mean him no disrespect, but I've never heard of him. And he said that he wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin surged to $5,000 in the next 10 days. Let's see. Quote, I wouldn't be surprised at all if the price goes straight to 5K in the next 10 days. The conditions are present technical analysis wise. Obviously, that sort of move would need a strong catalyzer, but anything is possible when it comes to price action, he explained. Let's see if that is the case. I wouldn't mind if it were, but again, don't hold your breath and take this with a grain of salt, as with any analyst's prediction in this space. And finally now, let's really go to the next level and look at long-term. Crypto OG, next act to bring Bitcoin above $250,000. Article here by Nick Chong on ethereumworldnews.com. And once again, we're in the realm of conjecture. This is not financial advice. So you have this so-called crypto OG who's claiming that eventually the flagship digital asset Bitcoin will begin to run and to new jaw-dropping all-time highs at that. So he's speaking on a podcast, The Next Billion Seconds, and Mark Jeffrey, a cryptocurrency pioneer that authored 2013's Bitcoin Explained Simply, he expressed optimism toward this nascent space, currently embroiled in the midst of a so-called nuclear winter. I guess so. He remarked that cryptocurrencies are much like the early .com industry, echoing remarks made by a number of analysts, such as Meltem Demirors. So he basically said that Bitcoin is soon going to be entering its third act of the story, which he likened to Star Wars: Return of the Jedi. He said that is just around the corner. Quote, "The third act is coming. And if it's anything like the .com boom and bust, we saw a little hump, then a dead period, and then an actual value ascension with Amazon, Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, and so on. I think we're going to see the same thing with cryptocurrencies." So you can read more about why he thinks that a $250,000 valuation makes sense. Don't forget, he's not the only one. Tim Draper also said that a $250,000 Bitcoin makes sense. Eventually, you also have others like John McAfee who have made very public bets that it'll one day be worth even more. So if you want to read about this, we will link to it in the description below. Again, take it with a grain of salt, as with anything when it comes to predictions and analysts' moonshot figures that they put out there. But it's interesting to read about. And with that, everybody, do be sure you're following us on all the regular social media channels. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, smash the thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share. Our last video is right here if you'd like to check it out if you have not already. I wish you only the very best of luck if you choose to invest. And as always, we do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.